very much for being here. For the people who are watching us online, hello. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Sofia Madridi. I've been an EFL teacher for 15 years. I've taught at primary and secondary school level. Also as a senior teacher in Cambridge, UK. I'm completing my master's degree in educational technology and TESOL at the University of Manchester. And since June, I've been the treasurer of the ITEFL Learning Technology SIG. We have another treasurer here of the BBC. Okay. My interest in the topic of digital plagiarism was initiated when last year I discovered that my students plagiarized on a regular basis. Please come in. So at the same time, I started exploring issues of digital citizenship, digital ethics, and media literacies. And I found out that in a way, those areas are related. And this is what I'm going to be talking today. So in the first part of the workshop, we are going to look into digital plagiarism, why students plagiarize, what we do, what we can do about that. The second part is going to be more experiential. You're going to work in groups and hopefully get a real perspective of what has been discussed. So, okay, let's get started by first defining plagiarism. So plagiarism derives from the Greek word plagios. Perfect pronunciation here because I'm Greek. So it's someone who acts indirectly. Now you will excuse my pronunciation in Latin. This became plagium or plagiarius, which means kidnapper or thief. And since the early 17th century, the word plagiarism has been used, and it's the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them on as your own. Of course, we will see that plagiarism has various forms, but this is the definition. So, plagiarism has been described as something negative in the Western world. I'm making this distinction because in Asian countries, for example, copying from another writer is considered to be a great honor. So this is something that we need to consider when we teach Asian students, for example. But in the Western world, plagiarism has been described as academic cheating, theft of ideas, intellectual shoplifting, and a writer's worst sin. Not very flattering words. So, okay. The thing is plagiarism a new phenomenon? Is it new? What do you think? No. Yes. According to Tark, copying from other writers is probably as old as writing itself. So, apart from students, who of course have been accused of plagiarism, other areas such as researchers, yes, journalists, well-known authors. Shakespeare has been accused of plagiarism. Don't know if this is true, but almost every article and report I've read seems to suggest that. Politicians and songwriters. So students don't have the monopoly of plagiarism. The thing is, how has technology affected plagiarism? We have books versus devices. So, okay, can you please take a minute and talk with the people next to you? How has technology affected plagiarism? Do you think it's increased, maybe because we are going to do this later on? If you don't mind, thank you. Yeah. rapidly increased over the past 10 years. Of course, we have search engines that can search almost anything for us. It's very easy to copy and paste, right? Instead of writing in hand, we copy paste it, it's ours. And of course, there are paper mills or essay mills. Do you know what they are? You do? Yes. So there are companies, sometimes ghost companies, who provide students with assignments. When we say students, high school students, bachelor students, master students, PhD students. So they hire professional writers who ghostwrite the assignments for them. And because submitting an already written assignment might expose the students to the danger of detection, the students might pay a higher price to get their paper done. So it's easy, right? It's simple and it's available. The thing is that what has also increased is people being caught plagiarizing. Why is that? So apart from plagiarism, what has also increased is people being caught plagiarizing.
The detective devices.
Exactly. So we have great detection tools, such as Turnitin for students, other tools for authors or researchers, right? So detection tools, if assignments are submitted electronically, they can be compared with a huge database, and they can detect if the assignment paper is original or not. It's not 100% accurate because not everything out there is included in the data, but in the database, but it can definitely help. So as a result, we can say that the internet has made it easier to plagiarize, but also to catch plagiarists. It's quite contradictory, I know, but it's true. So, 2 slides of bullet points here, because we need to look into forms of plagiarism, because plagiarism is not just copying and pasting. It can have various forms. So students plagiarize in 4 main ways. They might steal material from another source and pass it on as their own, either by buying a paper from a paper mill, pre-written or especially written, or by copying a whole paper or sections of it, without proper citation, of course. They might submit a paper written by someone else, a relative or a friend. They might copy sections of material, include the reference, but leaving out quotation marks, thus giving the impression that the material has been paraphrased rather than directly quoted. This is plagiarism as well. And of course, they might paraphrase material from a text without attributing the author. This is plagiarism as well. So plagiarism can be intentional or unintentional. The question is, why do students plagiarize? The easy answer is, of course, because they're lazy. They're lazy, they don't want to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to have the assignment done, so they just copy and paste it. But is it that simple? Can you please take another moment and talk with your partners? Why do you think students plagiarize? Your perceptions, your ideas.
There are no studies to this.
Okay, let's group them together. I know you have very interesting things to say, but because they are ignorant of academic integrity or digital ethics, right? They just don't know. Because the emphasis is on grades versus learning, not only from the part of the students, but also from the part of the teachers and also the educational system, right? Grades are more important than learning. Poor time management and research skills, they don't know how to paraphrase, synthesize, cite their sources. Because of personal values or attitudes, we mentioned that before, some cultures, don't consider plagiarism as something bad. Peer pressure, they're made to do it, so why not? Temptation and opportunity, we mentioned that, you mentioned that before. It's easy, it's there, they don't have to go to the library. It's so easy to copy and paste, they're tempted. And of course, negative student attitudes towards assignments and teachers. Research has shown that the better the relationship with the teacher, the less students plagiarize. And this is something that we might need to, to consider as well. How do we deal with it? What do we do? I found a very interesting quotation that I wanted to share with you. So far this century, educators have battled the plagiarism endemic to a wide world. Much the way medieval villagers resisted the plague with preaching and quarantining. So we preach. We preach about the virtues of academic integrity. We warn, okay? Sometimes we threaten. Warning, plagiarism will be punished. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that it shouldn't be punished. But I'm just asking, how do we deal with it? And if this is enough? We use fantastic detection tools, like Turnitin, Plagiarism Checker. And of course, at university level, students have to go through a crash course, that is supposed to develop their research skills, like how to synthesize information, how to paraphrase, and of course, there we have the chance again to preach about the virtues of academic integrity, to warn and to threaten. So, my question is this enough? And if it is enough, why do students still plagiarize? About detection tools, they're fantastic, they're amazing. But is this a proactive or a reactive approach to plagiarism? What do you think? It's reactive, okay, we react. So, yes, detection tools might act as a deterrent. That is to say, well, I'm a student, I know that my assignment is going to be submitted electronically, and of course, if I plagiarize, I'm going to be caught, so I'm not going to plagiarize because of that. Out of fear. That is to say, if I know that my assignment is not going to be submitted electronically, I might be tempted to plagiarize. Also, as everything with technology, students can easily find their way around it. Again, I'm a student, I know that my assignment is going to go through this procedure. As tutors use those tools, I can use those tools as well to see what parts are, suspicious, change them a little bit, so I'm not going to get caught. It's easy. Also, do you think that preaching about the virtues of academic integrity is enough to make students resist plagiarism and instead stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to have the assignment done? Do you think this is enough for them? I think that, causing students to care about plagiarism, it seems to be the answer. The thing is, how can we do it? How can we achieve that? And this is how digital citizenship, digital ethics might help. First of all, I should mention that digital citizenship and all that, digital citizenship is not some kind of training against plagiarism. It's a holistic approach about rights, responsibilities, and ethical thinking for effective participation in a digital world. So, being competent users of technology is not longer enough. What we also need is to be aware of our rights and responsibilities. So being a digital citizen does not involve, being a competent user of technology. It involves ethical and responsible thinking and behavior and informed decisions about the content we create or share and its impact on ourselves and on the other members of an increasingly digital and interconnected world. So, the International Society of Technology in Education defines digital citizen. They say that a digital citizen understands human, cultural, and societal issues related to technology and advocates and practices safe, responsible, and ethical use of digital information and technology. If we look more closely into ethical thinking skills, we will see that they involve what we already mentioned: reflection on roles and responsibilities and consideration of community benefits and harms. So, roles, responsibilities, and community seem to be the keywords here. All those in regards to ownership and authorship, so related to plagiarism, and also other areas such as self-expression and identity, who am I online, privacy, how much I protect myself, how much I expose myself online, how much I humiliate myself online, we've seen that. Personal and information credibility, how do other people perceive me online, how do I perceive other people or information that I see, do I challenge it, do I believe everything that I see online? And of course, participation or contact in online spaces. So one might say, well, all these, is good. The thing is, how can we apply that to the classroom? Okay, this is theory. Okay. So I'll give you some ideas, and then we can talk together and, reflect, and you tell me how you can adapt that. First of all, you should consider that digital citizens are not passive consumers of information. They also create, curate, and share. So if you want your students to be digital citizens, you should encourage them to create, curate, and share. How? Maybe you already do it. Rather than requiring students to submit traditional essays and research papers solely for the instructor to read, they should be offered multimedia ways of presenting and sharing information for a wider audience. So encouraging our students to write for a wider audience makes them perceive themselves as authors. And how authorship can help? It can help students develop ownership of the learning and build up an understanding of why plagiarism can be potentially harmful. So they can see plagiarism from the perspective of the writer, of the author, because they are authors if they write for a wider audience. However, if your students are authors, you should treat them as such. So along with publishing and writing for a wider audience, you should also encourage them to protect the work. How? You can encourage them to use Creative Commons, for example. Creative Commons offers a variety of ways to license your work. It's free of charge. So these can hopefully build up understanding of copyright laws and of how plagiarism can harm authors, including the students themselves. However, we should keep in mind that ethical thinking skills should be developed from an early age. It's not a once and for all approach. Okay, I told you I discovered last year that my students, my preteens, plagiarize on a regular basis. We should act as early as possible. Students need the skills to navigate, evaluate, synthesize and use digital information in an ethical manner. It is high time we all assume responsibility to teach these skills. We are all in education, one way or another. Okay, we should not dump responsibility to the next teacher or to the university professor to deal with it. We should act as early as possible. Because if you're taught how to closely read sources and synthesize them into your own original argument in middle or high school, you're not going to be tempted to plagiarize in college. And you certainly won't do so unknowingly, okay? So you will do it on purpose at least. And let's wrap up the first part with three quotations that I wanted to share with you. They're about plagiarism, but also education and teaching in general. And with this, I want to close the first part. If we only ask students to regurgitate information, then copying makes sense. Make them care enough to want to think about the topic because it affects them. And when learning is valued, then cheating is irrelevant. So with these three quotations, I would like us to go to the activity, and I would like, how many? Okay, I would like you to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many are you? 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. So I would like three groups, and 2 volunteers. So 1 volunteer, I already have my volunteer. Okay, so you're going to work in groups of 4, right? So can you please form your groups? Make sure that you have a mobile device in your group. If you don't have one, so you already have a mobile device there, I can give you mine, of course. So, if someone needs a mobile device, you can use mine. People who are watching us online can also participate. It would be great. All right? Good. So, what I want you to do, I forgot to mention that the aim of this activity is to develop a personal understanding of plagiarism, okay? It's not going to solve your problem, but it's an initial activity to make your students feel, see from themselves how it feels to have your work used by someone else. So, work in groups and assign a secretary. So, the secretary is the one who's going to write. So, Bethany, you're going to be the secretary. You are going to be right. Great. Here. Okay, you can use mine. Okay. So, someone who knows how to. Do you know? You can write on paper. Don't worry. Good. Good. You can. We should always have a backup plan with technology. So, write on paper. So, you write a paragraph about what you learned in this workshop. It doesn't have to be big, okay? It can be short, but try to make it as interesting as possible. You're all teachers, nice words, adjectives, sophisticated structure, etc. I'm sure you know what I mean. So, give it a title, right? Please do not write your names, right? A sophisticated paragraph, it doesn't have to be big, right? A short one, don't write your names, but give it a title. Write your paragraph here, all right? So it's tinyurl.com. So go here, please. Okay? Good. And I'm going to need another volunteer. David, would you like to be my volunteer?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sure.
To do what?
Sure. So, yeah. So, you have 5 minutes for this. You have 5 minutes. So please, hurry up.
Yes.
for copywriters. In this way, we might increase the intrinsic motivation
Can you please? Are you finishing? Yes. Almost there?
almost 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay. Okay, 30 seconds.
Wait, this is a trick.
Used to look at a problem. We don't know where to call it. What is it?
Yes.
Let's get on.
You? You can't get in. It doesn't matter. So have you saved what you wrote?
Of course.
Right? Good.
Well,
Excellent. Okay. No problem. I can, just...
I can print it.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. So, do you mind if I use that for 1 minute? All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you back and then copy and paste it myself. Okay, good. So I'm afraid we run out of time. Let's take a look. We're going to use just 1 or 2 examples. So was it difficult to reflect on what we did today? Was it difficult? Easy? Your teachers. Okay, your teachers. We ask students to do that all the time. So, all right.
Oh, that's a long one.
So, the first paragraph. Let's take a look at the first paragraph. So, who wrote that? Who wrote the first paragraph? Yes, sir. Who wrote the first paragraph? So, is it not me? Is it you? Okay, good. Could you please read your paragraph to us?
Well, really, in a highly informative workshop on
October.
October 5th, Untitled stated, plagiarism isn't a new concept. The digital age makes plagiarism easier to carry out and, fortunately, to detect. It isn't enough to check, you need to teach learners how to avoid it. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, sure, because I'm impressed. You did very well.
Thank you very much. in a short time, I think I could summarize the main points.
Okay, great. So let's give her a round of applause because she did great.
the most interesting thing we've learned today is to raise students' awareness about the responsibility of being a digital citizen. We should teach them ethical thinking skills as how to become sources for other writers by creating, curating, and sharing. In this way, we can increase their intrinsic motivation to plagiarize.
Well done, David. I'm impressed. Let's give him a round of applause. Well done. Excellent. So, yours did not appear, but...
It's there, it's lower.
Oh, it's lower. Okay. Okay, that's it? 2 lines?
Yes, because
Okay. So I think,
keyboard.
David?
So
All right, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So, can we please go to the slides? Thank you. So, what was that? What was that? I mean, what did we do? Was it fair, first of all? Was it? How did you feel about that? You worked, sorry? So, was it fair? Is it fair to find someone else's work and take it and pass it off as your own? How did you feel about that? What about the plagiarists? Sorry?
Oh, because they was like ours.
It's
That's
pretty
right.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was easy, wasn't it? It was easy.
No, it was horrible.
It wasn't? Really? Okay. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. David, how did you feel about that?
it was pretty hilarious, but bad.
Okay. So if you were up this activity, we did it very briefly to suit your students' level. For example, let's say that you work at primary school level. So what would you ask your students to do? Yeah?
Maybe read them a story and
Uh-huh.
they can write a little summary of the story.
In groups again, and then have some other people to plagiarize the work.
Yeah.
Good. If you work at university level, would you ask them to write a short paragraph? You would, or maybe an assignment, a group assignment, something that they will put a lot of effort on, and they might, they will not like it, to have the work plagiarized. So would you use it with or without technology? The technology part was just to show that it's so easy to find something online, copy and paste it, and pass it on as your own. But can you use it without technology if your students don't have to write on a piece of paper? Exactly what I suggested for you. I mean, you can use, write on a piece of paper and then,
The server can be the teacher.
Sorry?
And the server can be the teacher. Passing it on to
Exactly.
the students.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess that was all. So thank you very much for being here. And if you want to ask any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I do have a question.
Bethany, yeah.
I swear to you, a week from yesterday, I am going to start doing this with my classes. I've determined this is my New Year's resolution.
Because you've
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of correcting other people's work.
mhm.
I'm tired of correcting. I'm just tired of it. And so I'm going to have to be responsible for showing them exactly what this means, starting from scratch, basically.
Exactly.
Do you have any advice? Because I'm also, as mentioned yesterday in my talk, I'm also moving against the current slightly in some contexts where I teach. So, do you have any advice for starting from scratch?
Yeah,
And
I mean, this
the
is
first class.
this is an initial activity that you can use. I can send you other activities, but as I said before, if you want to go through digital citizenship approach and digital ethics, this is not restricted to plagiarism. It's a holistic approach. That is to say, you cannot expect your students not to plagiarize, but bully other people online or humiliate themselves online, post pictures of themselves and expose themselves online. So it's a holistic approach. It goes, it comes all together. It's a package. So there are so many activities. But as I suggested before, it's not a once and for all approach. It goes throughout the year, throughout the whole, you know, educational system. The years, primary education, secondary education. But of course, this doesn't mean that we should devote all our time on that. You know, just short bits and pieces every now and then. Plagiarism, appropriate online behavior, respecting other people, intercultural communication, and so on and so forth. Please?
How do you feel about connecting with your students through social media? I know some teachers are for it, some teachers are against it. I'm just wondering what's your view?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I've not formed, you know, an opinion yet. Sometimes I want to do it, and sometimes, you know, I prefer not. I generally advise students not to do it, but sometimes it's unavoidable. If, for example, your students are young adults, you might want to connect. However, I think that we as teachers, we should keep a decent digital identity online. So if you don't expose yourself online, you know, why you might not want your students to see you, you know, eating or drinking. So this is up to you, really. I normally suggest what I say to teachers of primary school students, for example, is that it's something that we should avoid. But if your students are adults, then why not? But again, it depends on how you use social media.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just wanted to mention, you said before about other things than teaching, so making it holistic. There is a no hate speech movement online going on, and it's very much promoted nowadays about this idea of no hate speech movement online. More.
Yeah. What was again?
No hate speech movement.
All right.
Yes, which is about online races, online, which actually leads to
Good. Thank you very much for mentioning that. Thank you very much. Yes, great. So, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really enjoyed delivering this workshop to you, and I wish you have a nice day at the conference. Thank you.